So let's call to order this Board of Commissioners meeting of April 16, 2026 with the Forest Park District. If we can have a roll call, please.
Allison Moore.
Here.
Lyons.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Sansoni. Gilligan.
And pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening. So moved.
Second.
All right, motion and second, all in favor, say aye. Aye. That would be.
We don't have to, only financial.
Right. If we can have a motion for approval of the minutes of March 19th, 2026 regular board meeting.
This is that one took.
This is that final,
Yeah.
regular board meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry, did we not do the meeting? Sorry, minutes, I'm sorry.
Yes. Approval of the minutes, the regular board minutes.
So that I made the motion, I'll second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Allison Moore.
Well, sorry,
Sorry, this is a regular minute, sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
All right,
And-
with the regret name.
Nick, okay. Lyons.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni. Gilligan. That will not pass. So, I won't be able to post this on that.
Okay.
Aye, it's majority.
Only two.
Two approve the,
Which one?
because they will use the firm. Two approve one, so.
Okay.
I'll
Don't say that's double check.
Okay,
Okay.
So if the meeting minutes are not published online, it's because they were not approved at this meeting. But you'll double check.
I'll confirm that. Yeah.
We have that. So this is the recommendation, the board review and approve the minutes of the closed session of March 19, 2026.
So moved.
second,
A motion and a second, a roll call, please.
Allison Moore. Lyons.
Aye.
McDermott.
aye,
Sansoni. Gilligan.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So Jackie, any correspondence?
We did. We got a correspondence, a thank you from, Forest Park PTO. We sponsored the Spring Flame. We got an invite to the WSSRA Derby Gala this year. It's being held in Forest Park at, Roberts West. But we do participate in this, so there's that. We got a thank you for sponsoring. And then we got a thank you for, from St. Luke's School for, sponsoring our, basket. We give them a purchaser basket. We got another thank you from, that's St. Luke's. This is on the agenda. And then we got another email, I think that's the one from Pine, from Eric Rick Joman. His father was actually the gentleman that ran the automotive place over here. He has a master's, he's a master gardener with the University of Illinois. And basically he's looking to work with us to help build that garden in honor of his dad too. So we can, Izzo's gonna work with them. We already talked to him about that, so.
that's nice.
Perfect. All right, so this part of the meeting is the public comment. To make sure that we have notes, I'm gonna ask everybody when you stand, it's 3 minutes for public comments. When you stand, please state your name. I'm gonna state your name back to you, then state your address where you live, and I'm gonna state your address back to you. So we have in some of the meeting minutes, it'll say resident made comment, and maybe it's because we can't, the notes from the video can't hear the person. So I want to make sure that we have it said twice. So it's definitely in the notes and it's in our meeting minutes for next month. So with that,
You would want them to spell.
Oh, wait,
and spell the last name, yeah. So with that being said, is there anyone who does have public comment here at this time? All right.
Yeah. Your time. Okay, thank you.
So, your name, please, ma'am?
Amanda Ball,
And how do you spell your last name?
Ball,
And you live at where?
821 Circle Avenue.
Okay, so Amanda Ball, 821 Circle Avenue.
Okay.
But
Good evening. I'm here tonight because some simple concerns started bringing me to the Park District Board meetings a few months back. My original concerns were, why did our pool passes rise? And why was the family pass taken away? Why did it seem like we were pouring a lot of money into the softball field when our community doesn't seem to use it as much? How come it took so long for the chains on the swings to be replaced? Why are the wood chips constantly low when they're not even with the sidewalk, causing a tripping hazard for the kids and the adults? Why aren't the electrical covers replaced when they're broken off in the park? Why can't the kids ride their bike in the park, even though they have the park rangers that are using the carts? And I've seen several different times where e-bikes or different types of electric things were on the soccer field or just going through the park and nobody addressed that. One of the other concerns I had was, why is it that all the pocket parks are not fully enclosed and have like huge gaps where the fences are? Because that's a big concern for parents of elopers or maybe smaller children. And then also the elephant in the room, the soccer field. So after I started attending the meetings, that's when I kind of started having additional questions and concerns. So one of them was, why are pool passes more than Oak Park's early bird special? And why is it cheaper to get a Six Flags Great America season pass than to get our pool pass this year? Okay, and I don't know if you guys know this, but part of the, when we're looking at the income of the schools and like of the people in the community that use these resources, all of our public school kids, they actually qualify for subsidized lunch because of economic status. So for us to have a very high pool pass that's higher than Oak Park, that's higher than some of the other areas, while our kids get free public lunch because their families not be able to afford food, we're really taking away their access to the pool. Also, why was the pool league allowed to go on for so long at such an expense of hundreds of thousands of dollars out of an annual operating budget? If I recall, it was season 22, 23, 24, and then 25. I would actually really think it would be really interesting, and I would personally like to know how much additional water usage and the price of that water usage for those 4 seasons. Why is it all right to raise our pool prices while that leak was unrepaired? I don't really know how anybody could justify that. If you're gonna tell us that you need to raise our pool prices for maintenance of the pool, but we're gonna have this leak for 4 years that's costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can't see why that's all right. And then also, I wanted to know how it could be that we were at a board meeting and the board said that they were going to review the soccer field pricing structure after the construction of the soccer field was completed, only for the new pricing to be immediately released and sent out to the Forest Park Youth Soccer Organization a few days later. I was at that board meeting. They said it was a board decision and there was no board vote.
that was 3 minutes. Okay, we'll have another public comment at the end, so. Thank you. Anyone else public comment?
Amanda got it all.
Oh, okay. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? Okay. So what we always love to do each month is our employee of the month.
Okay, I'll start out. We've had an employee that's been with the Bruce Recreation Center since it opened in 2018. Each and every morning, he makes sure that the building is opened on time and that it's ready to go for our customers to come in bright and early at 5 o'clock in the morning. He greets everybody with a smile. And I hear you're the best towel holder too. So this month, we are honored to have Mr. Tom Blue be our employee of the month. So congratulations. So Tom, we would like to get a photo with the board and honor you with that, and then we have a certificate for you.
Oh, thank you.
Not really till the last minute.
Right against the wall here. In your face.
There you go, Tom.
We're going to stand against this wall here. Yep. Just move a little bit more facing the
And you have what is your plants thing that you take very good?
Oh, yes.
Cheese.
Oh, actually, hardly 30 things.
You run to our cheese, great.
All right, you got it.
Ready?
Oh, wait, hold on, there's a certificate.
Oh,
There you go, okay.
thank you. Oh, yeah, no, smile. It's 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, geez. You got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Perfect. We got, if you're ready,
I'm here.
all right, Tom, thank you for coming.
Right here. Are you staying or are you going? Yeah.
So everyone that's here, if you don't know Tom, now you do. So if you see him, say hi and congratulations. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you. Thank you, baby.
So on to next is our treasurer report. So we have the March and April 2026 disbursements, and Roy, who's our treasurer director. And
So Jeff will take over.
Jeff will take over.
We have 2 check runs this month. We had one towards the end of March for a total of $55,867.67. And the other one was the first week of April, April 3rd, for a total of $35,910 even. And then our total APs is $91,777.67. Nothing was really out of the ordinary, so pretty regular set of check runs. Any
So-
questions?
Sorry, send it to Tom, Jeff. This SIKICH, that was the audit people, right?
Stickage, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to, that's, okay. So audit paid for them.
Yes.
All right, so recommendation, the board approved disbursements for March/April 2026 totaling $91,777.67. Motion?
So moved.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
Second.
And Betty. Her, all right. And this is roll call.
and roll call?
Allison Moore. Aye. Lyons.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni. Elliott.
And then approval of the March 2026 financial statements. Anything on that, Dr. Jeff?
No, I'll have some things to say in my report, but unless you have a question about the report, about the statements.
Recommendation the board accept the financial statements for the close of March 2026. Motion, please. Betty, second. Roll call, please.
Allison Moore.
Go that direction, Rich. Aye.
Lyons.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Sansoni. Gilligan.
And then anything else, treasurer's report? No. And then you said Jeff, so you'll back. Building and parks report.
All right, we have a lot of projects going on right now. Stuckey has finished the sand filter replacement, so that's finished. They also finished pouring the concrete on the pool deck, so the pool, besides the painting, which starts on Monday, is ready to go. We're getting our new chemical feeders installed next Wednesday, and our new windows in our locker rooms are all installed, so it's looking nice in there. Our new security system gets installed tomorrow, or begins the installation tomorrow. We had the roof repairs done at the H&R building. And then we have our pickleball benches, our cabana benches all delivered. Those are getting installed beginning of May. And then lastly, we have the turf pros on the soccer field right now. They are halfway done. They'll finish tomorrow. They're making it look nice. Doing a great job.
I think any report that says waiting on Aquaman.
That was the first email I got from him was Aquaman@blah.com. So it was awesome. Yeah, so.
I said, like, you said how the park, the pocket parks, the trash, weekly, like, is it like one day you go around home, or do you guys like
We do Monday and Friday.
Monday, and Friday?
Get them all ready to go. We do this park and those parks.
Because I know like the more,
Remembrance Park sees a lot of parties. I mean, there was a lot. It was nice. It's nice to see people there.
Once the summer hits, our party worker usually stops over there on Saturdays, because we probably have to do that 4 times a week over there, but it's a good thing, it's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. So if somebody in the public sees that the trash at one of our parks is overflowing, that who should they contact? Or what's the best way to
They
let us know?
email me directly,
Okay.
and that'll be the quickest way,
Or they call the main line.
or they can call.
Yeah, Gary will get a hold of Andrew immediately.
Anybody else? No. Thank you, Andrew. Recreation report. Did that your folder?
Yeah, no, so for, pool passes went on sale April 1st, so it's been about 2 weeks and we sold just under, 1,000 pool passes so far. One of our students from our Tom Whirling class, has her first competition this Saturday. All of our summer hiring throughout the park is all complete as of today. And we want to give a special thank you to the Proviso, Township High Schools for letting us use their Proviso East High School swimming pool for all of our lifeguard training this year.
How long is that training with lifeguards have to do? Is it, is
They
it
have to do about 20 hours, which is spread up between 3 days, so 2.5 days. So Friday nights, Saturday all day, and Sunday all day.
and then so they'll get everything done in just those 3 days?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you very much. Excited for the summer. Communication and marketing report.
Well, look at me.
If there's anything else to add, Adam's been really creative. We definitely wanted to make sure we got the word out about the early bird rate for the pool passes being the same as it was last year. We wanted to get that word out there. It definitely worked. This marketing programs, they're billing and going or doing good.
And then I know that Adam with his report, he talks about like, the reaches and stuff like that. Is there anything that he's added more onto our systems for your support? Yeah.
Like as far as like what, I'm not sure which ones.
I don't think,
I'm not very either, so the rest of it.
so like Adam's job is like, we were talking about like the board minutes. He has to put those out onto the website. Is there anything else we're gonna be adding onto the website?
I would hope that we're gonna have some meeting with the videos.
Yes, so good, thank you for asking that. So it, it's never been a request, but I think it's a great idea. We are going to, at this meeting, we're gonna put it up on YouTube. I guess that's how this, I believe that's how the school does it. That we're gonna sort of,
So provide some schools, I think.
so we're gonna put it up on YouTube, we're gonna do the meeting on Monday. And make sure that it works. So if you don't see anything, or if it's not working, let us know, because, that is our goal. April's kind of the trial, and then beginning in May, it'll be posted, the video. But if anybody wants a copy of it, please reach out. We'd be more than happy to send you the recording of the meeting. And then we'll also, it was suggested to put our agenda on social media. Adam said it's fairly simple to, and I put the link on there, so it's easily done.
I think the only other thing I would say, do we have a feedback mechanism on the website? Because I have not been able to find it.
On almost every single section, there is an area where you can put in, if you have a suggestion. So if you go onto our website, and that goes directly emailed either to, and I'm looking at Jeff because Adam's not here. That gets either emailed like to, depending on who it's related to. Just trying to type there. Sorry. I will make sure because like. I was gonna drive them crazy about this.
But let's not distract you. I mean, it's not a bunch of money. It's just like I was looking for it.
Like there are,
Exactly.
the facility, but.
Yeah, but we need to have something. If
Yeah,
that,
there are different ones. I apologize, I can't pull it up right
yeah,
now.
no worries.
But, and I can always, email you. And we can always add more. Our new website is a work in progress, so.
Squarespace is a great tool.
Mhm.
All right, that business report, Dr. Jeff.
All right, kind of along the lines of what Dominique shared, we are done hiring and we will be having our first orientation with the guards coming up on Saturday. Most of the other staff won't start until sometime in May. With training, we have a all staff training the first, May 9th, we have 2 trainings planned. So that, and again, I've said this before, but we will hire approximately 150 to 200 seasonal staffers. I'm very proud of the fact that many of these staffers do return. So we have a high level of staff come back, which saves us a lot of time and money just in terms of training. But I do consider it an honor that the Park District is frequently a first-time employer for many of these young people in our community. And we really teach them how to have a job, which is important. I think we do a great job of that. So we're ramping up for that. Tax receipts are on track. At the end of March, if you look at your financial reports, you see we have about just under 75% of our tax receipts received for the fiscal year. We should be closer at that point we should be in the 90s, unfortunately, with some of the delays in tax receipts. That's why, but I will tell you that I always report after the fact, but I can tell you that in the first 2 weeks of April, we've received over $800,000 in tax receipts. So these numbers don't reflect those receipts received since April 1st. So I believe we're doing very well. I was very concerned that we wouldn't get all of our tax receipts in by the end of the fiscal year before the year ends on April 30th, but I think we're going to be doing pretty well. In addition to that, I'm not exactly sure what prompted this, but Cook County Clerk Maria Pappas, she sent out an email this week to the government, I believe, government agencies, kind of explaining the history of tax receipts in the community in Cook County. And so despite some impact by COVID, over the history, I think she presented about, I want to say like 50 years of dates where, and they've only been delayed 3 times in the 50 years. And so I'm not exactly sure what the point of that was, except to show that even though it's been a little rough the last few years since COVID, they've really have done a pretty good job of keeping tax collections in court, kind of in line with what people's expectations are. And she did note in these notes that she sent these governments that anytime tax collections are moved, it actually is a Illinois state statute is required for them to. So the few times that they've moved them, they have had to get the Illinois, basically legislators to approve the change. So anyways, it was just interesting. I'm not exactly sure why that was sent out, but it was interesting. It was interesting reading. So anyways, any questions about anything? I will say that we will have some, as we're getting closer to opening up the pool season, like Andrew said, there's lots of projects going on to make things ready. And so we had a kind of a quiet March, which is great. And then I do expect us to be paying a few bills in April. So.
Anyone else have any questions? Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Director's report.
I now, just that add on, most everything's on the rest of the agenda. We did finally, so a year later, after we opened Remembrance Park, we did finally get a reimbursement for the grant. We began the process of working on the DECO grant that we received. We're going to apply the curbs and parkway and the pickleball courts to be reimbursed. And also we got the main park packet for the grant. Hopefully this one goes a little smoother. So we'll see how that goes. And then everybody, all the board members should have received the statement of economic interest filing email. So you need to make sure we file that by May 1st. If you did not, please let me know and I'll make sure. It should go to your park district email. And that's it. Everything else is on the agenda. Any questions?
That's WSSRA.
The only thing to report is they're having their trivia gala. It's a great fundraiser that for all the money that they raise, that helps get kids and scholarships for camp. So it's a great event.
Park Foundation, so Park Foundation, I believe most of you have been here before, but that is the 501c3 arm of the Park District. We have a board and we have 2 new members that were voted in today. Is Terry Steinbeck and Sammy Jo Oswald. So now we have 3 community members as part of the board, and then myself being one of the park board commissioners. And with the foundation, one of the things we talked about and doing in collaboration is something for the adults and to have the kids be able to have time and have a babysitter. So we are doing on August 28th, and this was literally just all decided, so more details will come out. But August 28th, reason why it's a Friday night, we are going to be doing an adult swim, so it's 18 and over at the pool. And we will be, we need to confirm it, but it is on the list of movies that the park is able to get from the service, because, you know, copyright laws and things. It will be a showing of Jaws, if they're having no problem with that. And we have talked with Danette, and she's going to make sure that that night at the same time, they will have one of those Friday night movies for the kids over at camp. So parents can drop their kids off and then be able to come to the pool and enjoy the pool without their kids for a couple hours and watch Jaws. People have asked, no, there will not be alcohol served at the adult swim. It is a huge liability and an insurance issue, and our insurance providers would not go for that. So if you're wondering about that, there will not be alcohol at this. But more details about this will come out over the next few weeks. So hopefully that this will be something that the parents will be able to enjoy. And then we have already talked about doing something for fall and winter. Fall is still in the works. Winter, we're thinking of doing either a cooking class and or a something related to the holidays. And then we would again try to always make sure we have these scheduled at the same time that they have the movie for the kids at day camp. So the adults have a babysitter for the night. Again, if anybody's interested in joining the Park Board Foundation, our next meeting will be before the, that's right, June 18th, before the June meeting, to kind of do more details about that. And those meetings start at 5:30 and this meeting starts at 6. So we've got that ball, though rolling slow, it is now rolling. So any questions on that? All right, now we have our big list of unfinished business. So the main park renovation in the Osland, right?
We are currently, I know, as we've explained several times, it does take 2 or 3 months for the design portion of the park. They are preparing all the construction documents so that we can go out to bid. We have a meeting, I believe, next week to just see how the process is going and how that looks. Once that's complete, then they'll come to the meeting and present that. I think that's,
It's a community thing? Like
Yes.
they'll come here to the community?
yes, that's, in the other park projects, that's what we did. Once that was designed, and we have to remember that as much as they're the architects that put things in there because of what fits and how playgrounds and how many feet and specs and all that fun stuff. So, so if we move the slide slightly this way, then we have to move the entire playground because all those different codes are out of our hands, because of safety reasons, obviously. So, but we will have that. Hopefully, I don't want to say by May because it does take a few months to design that entire space. So I think that's it right now.
But we will still be inviting community inputs
But we
for consideration.
we can always put additional input that we would never not want to take input for sure.
Is there a cutoff that we need to have that all submitted in order to, they're talking about breaking ground next year? And was it next year in the fall?
It all depends on, again, several of these things, I don't want to say any dates because it's completely out of our hands. It all depends on permits, it depends on
I think that's
weather. Weather, exactly, we're trying to paint the pool right now and rain over, so there's several factors that go into that. But as we know, like this design, they've been working on this since February right now, so, it takes time, things take time, but we want it to take time because then they do it right. We don't want to rush things.
The next, the aquatic center repairs, as you just said.
We pretty much already, yeah, we went through most of those. And with, I mean, I don't know if we can talk about the leak, if we want to talk about the leak with, the several years that we had to spend on finding that. And I believe the way that we did it was probably the most efficient, effective, and inexpensive way to ever do something like that. Because I hope people understand there are thousands and thousands of feet of pipe underneath this pool. And so it's very strategic. Aquaman helps us out with things like that. So, I think that was probably the most efficient and expensive way to fix what we had done, but we did speak with, Pete, that said that it was, he's confident that with all the work they've done over the years, that this is the leak that I mean, thousands and thousands of feet of pipe that he found, the pipe.
Like underlying crack.
Yep.
As
So,
I recall from your description and the trajectory, it was almost like providential, it was almost like sheer luck.
yeah,
They were able to like locate and pinpoint.
They had the break. It was visible to them and they still couldn't see it because the pipe was completely attached, but when there's water pressure, it was just breaking off from the T where it was at and just spraying up. That's why we were finding it in the pit in the back, the pit over here, just because it was just spraying everywhere. That's what had everyone so confused.
yes, and I mean, they went through when it was full, when it was empty, and, found the one crack. That's amazing. When he found it, it was kind of like, there may or may not have been a cartwheel done on the deck. So that's how, incredible and how many years we've worked with the village. We've worked with so many different people to try and find this. And, you know, I prefer not to have to close the pool. And, that's how we were as efficient and inexpensive way to possibly do it. So.
And in addition, that there will be a time where that whole pipe system will need to just be over.
Unfortunately, yes, but right,
We've always talked about the old lady, like the.
We got to keep for 50 years old.
last year with more construction who came out and couldn't find the leak this spring, they streamlined some of our pipes, which the village does on their sewers. That's actually how we got the recommendation. So if we maintain them, it shouldn't be in the near future. So, but like, that's what Jackie said, like 2 years, last year we did 2 pipes, this year we did it, like, so if we do it, if we keep doing it each year, fixing whatever ones we could, then I think we should be all right. Like, it shouldn't be within the next 10 years. Not in what?
Not gonna work. Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen underneath the, but and that's what maintenance staff and what we have done with this pool, as Kathy said, it's 30 years old. It's as long as we continue to maintain these things, we can prevent having a major renovation. Today, if I'm guessing, a major renovation to this pool would cost us around $20 million. So our job and what we've been doing over the last, since COVID, I would say, is we are just constantly following all the different, you know, doing the sand filters, maintaining these things to keep it going. So, because that's a lot of money for a 3-month facility. And we don't want to get to that point. So that's why
We
we're
also,
basically contractors.
we also do have camera footage of all of the return lines and 90% of them have cracks in them, but they're like hairline cracks, but that means that they're going to keep for, so that's why each year we just need to knock out one or two of them and just keep them from that happening.
Because we streamlined two,
Two.
and it was $100,000 to do two of them.
Yeah, I think it's important, I mean, like, thank you both for the nuance, because I think that is, the devil's always gonna be in the details, right? And it does sound, from what you're describing, this wasn't something that you kind of woke up one day and started looking for the crack. This has been something you've been hunting down for a while,
Yep,
several years.
with multiple contractors.
Yeah, and we discovered it, it was actually one of her year was. In Forest Park, you get a water bill every other month. And this is, mind you, years back, because I know the system, they're doing some upgrades on it so they can. But when you have a 3-month operation and you get a water bill every other month. So we got our first water bill and which was normal because we felt it's gonna be large, it's gonna be large. When we got our second water bill that I want to say 2022, is when I looked at it and said, this is not right. So we called out the village. And so for the last 2 years, we've been working hand in hand with the water department just to kind of help us navigate this. Because obviously it's not something we could continue. And so again, that's how we discovered it was based on the water bills. The nice thing is now with the new system that they had, that they put in, we can actually now see when there's a spike.
Yeah.
But I mean, last year, we spent 4 weeks chasing
I mean,
to
we've
the
done
point where it's like either we're not.
Well, I mean, literally, this is my first year, like, anniversary on the board. It was the first thing I was.
Yep.
And I was like, there's a leak.
You're gonna put your bully in, your head in the sewer bowl, remember?
I just wanted to see that. But no, I mean, like, I think it's important for, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, it's, I get how difficult it is to actually track this down. From everything y'all have described, it's not like, you know, it was an easy task. And commendations all around for that. It sounds like it's also easy to track from what you're also describing, Jack. Like,
Now-
if we were to see like something untoward, you'll have like an early response mechanism to see, hey, there may be another leak somewhere. That needs to be identified. Number 3, and I think this is to Kathy's point as well, and you know, I know we probably would need to kick around the tires if it's $20 million or 10 million, whatever the number is going to be in the millions.
Yes.
If we were to do a renovation, like flat out of the pool. I mean, for me, those are important data points to understand. And I guess, you know, like the tail will be in the tape as well when the next water bill comes in after the filling of the pool. Hopefully that wouldn't like totally give Jeff a heart attack. But- And that will be one way, but I do, you know, like, yeah, I get it. From what you're describing and hopefully this will help explain to some of us in the community what's been going on. It's not a matter of nothing was being done.
Yeah.
It was a matter of tracking down in what sounds, can I quote you in the center, you said thousands of feet.
Yeah.
Of pipe,
Thousands and thousands.
like to actually track this down, and when we finally you were able to locate it after going through multiple vendors, I mean, it was almost a miracle that we did.
We actually had a contractor come out here, say they could fit, they walked it, they thought, and they just said, we can't do this.
Yeah.
They did it, so yeah, it's been a heck of a journey.
And if we do discover, so we're excited to see how this works out. If we do discover that there is another leak, we have to understand that we can't just shut the water off at that point because it has to continue to circulate. So then it's calling all these people back out and we got to do it all over again. Because again, we're talking about thousands and thousands of feet of pipe that we have to find in this. We know better. We're only better now because of everything that we've gone through. And we have really great contacts. It took us a while, again, to find, this is a very unique facility, a public facility. So to find people that specifically work on this too is a unique skill, but We've got a lot of references now.
So well, I appreciate you both for taking the time on that. It's like, it's
Thank you.
important and at least for me to understand that detail with regards to the pool. Thank you.
And just for our water bill, it's for the whole park district. We don't have a separate one just for the water we're putting in the pool.
That's correct. We do have separate meters. So we have been, the meter downstairs was going crazy for a couple summers and that's when, but then remember we thought we had a water main break in the back, so we fixed that. That wasn't it. So it's,
So you could monitor by the meters, but it's just one giant bill.
yes, at the end of the day, it's one bill.
All right, so H&R Building across the street.
Nothing really more to update. We've got the roof repaired. We invite anyone to stop in and check it out. You have a lot of guests all the time. So.
Anybody want to drop off their car for service?
We, I haven't told people stop by.
I'm really, that's not a costume.
The signs up, I saw that. the other day.
All right, so then we have unfinished business, the personnel policy manual. We do have on the agenda that action be taken on it.
These two, that's all right. I'm not trying to, not too much, but just.
I can, there's some, I can.
That's yours, yeah, you can keep that, that's a draft, so you can, and then.
Oh, wait, this isn't it.
These are the changes that I made based off of this information.
Okay, the ones that are
Plus the pages, so I got you. And these are, we're just gonna give you guys a copy of these for, oh, you're right, I got to count, there you go.
So on this, there's a recommendation that we approve the updates, but because of the changes and not having two of our board members here, I asked Jackie about this, can we put this to the next meeting, so we can all review this and have everybody here, she said that would not be an issue.
So we can just table.
Yeah, so we'll table that.
I'll just like take it from you, Jackie, and the other one.
I will email you, I will email you.
Cool, thank you so much.
Yeah, any of those, anytime, Paderma does an amazing job with that information, so, of anything that we have, so.
So the personnel policy manual, we'll table that for the next meeting. Everyone review that.
Once once the board agrees to everything, and then I will send it on to the attorney for, final approval.
So the next is the 5-year strategic plan.
Nothing new. I have a couple companies right now, that I've reached out to. I actually went to, a financial sustainability class put on by 110%, consultant. I really, really enjoyed it. So she's one person. I know there was another company, I know a person Jeff knew, and then I spoke to somebody at conference. So it's just a matter of going out for requests for information and start that process.
So Jake, just to be clear, so people who are here, so when we put together a strategic plan, is that something that we all sit down and say, oh, we should do this? You actually go out and hire a company that's all they do.
Yep.
And it's a consulting.
We would prefer to have an outside company come in to do this instead of getting our opinions, it's like, let's get somebody to come in, interview the public, have public, town halls, have retreats with the board, have staff retreats. There's a whole, it's a year-long process. Yeah, we'll do surveys, so it's a year-long process, but we want to find the right company for the park district. And, so we're in those stages right now, just getting information.
And when was the last time we had one done?
It was, I believe, when we did. This edition to.
Oh, well, I thought it was 2016.
It's more than 5 years ago.
It's more than 5 years ago.
It was more, because yes, we could have done
The
it.
second time around when we did the first one, we did one when we went to acquire the rooms, and then it took longer than we had anticipated to acquire the rooms, so we wanted to make sure that it's for the public, so I believe that was last time. So that would put us right where in 2017, 2018.
We're behind. We're definitely, we need to do, definitely do this.
Yeah. It's something that came up from community input. It's something that we really need to do. It's our responsibility.
Absolutely.
Glad to.
So next, F Little Huskies Youth Football Program.
There's nothing new to.
The IAPD conference in Springfield, May 4th and 5th.
I believe I can still register people. but I'm 100%, I know that there are no hotels left, so I could be strategic and maybe look at, I was actually talking to another park district yesterday, and they said the same thing, we're limited on how many can go.
Well, there's multiple advocacy groups that are in Springfield both those days.
Okay,
There's
that's why,
it's Latino Unity Days on that day as well.
there's,
Jack, if I go, it would just be for the day on my own, but I would let you know.
let me know, because I do like to set up meetings with, one-on-one meetings with our legislators here. So,
I didn't, I'm traveling for the next 2 weeks, so I can't actually go.
okay,
I'll let you know.
Hey, Jackie, I just want to clarify that the legislative reception is May 5th and the legislative conference is May 6th. So those should be 5th and 6th.
Those are the hotel nights you got this.
We'll stay on the fifth then, so wait. The
Right,
fifth
we'll
is
stay
the-
the evening of the 5th. So
Okay,
that's usually the day you do the visits with the legislators.
yeah, usually.
So it's the 6th.
It's the fifth.
The legislative conference is on the 6th.
But we'll be in the Capitol on the fifth. So, okay. I will, I'll keep you, I can send you the information too, so that might help too.
All right, the community collaborations first with the village.
So we were collaborating again, I believe this is their 5th year. For the village, they do the fall cleanups, they have their dates set up, Saturday, the spring one is Saturday, May 16th. With a rain date of Saturday, May 23rd, and then the fall one is September 12th. With a rain date of Saturday, September 19th. So, I'm excited about continuing to collaborate with the village and in that successful event. And then the library, we're working out, Adam and their representative from the library have met, they look forward to their wonderful video that they're putting together for the pool pass collaboration. And I'm hoping at the next meeting, I can't say anything yet, but they got some really cool events that we're gonna work together on this summer at the pool, reading events, but one of them I'm extremely excited about. So, but I can't say it until I know it's official.
So the pool pass, that's right. If you go to the library card, you can go to the Forest Park Library and check out the pool pass.
Yes.
For
For
Yeah, and then you still do need to register in our electronic Amelia system, right?
Yes, so what they're gonna, and all the details are being worked out, I think they have a date that they're gonna meet and work on both ends to make sure it works. But when they go to the library, they'll be able to check out the pool passes, they'll sign the pool waiver. And they will be told at that point, you do have to have an Amelia account, in order to enter the pool. So we're checking both boxes on what they need. We don't want to, we want to make sure we give our information on our end, separate from the information they need on their end, but yet still come together to make it work. So far, everything on paper sounds good. They're gonna do a test run though to make sure it works, but there'll be 4 pool passes available at the library to check out. And I believe you get to check it out for a week at a time.
Arts Alliance,
They're working with ISO on a heart project. And I'm trying to think of what the other one was.
on the cover road.
Oh, yes, we just did that. And we're actually, when they take those down, we're hoping to bring it, get it and put it over by the day camp building. So that's a really cool.
For their garden.
For their garden. We want to put that there. Garden.
And if anybody knows what we're talking about, these are the garden posts that the Arts Alliance did, and they put them in Constitution Court, and they'll be there till end of May.
I think it is. I'm not sure.
End of May, but the camp students did all the little individual blocks to make it.
I know ISO did one too. It's got red, other flame, but yes, something. It's so. I think that's all that. Yeah.
The indoor facility space,
We're still, obviously, that's something we're just gonna keep on the table, something we need. Camps are filled, so we continue to work on looking for more space. And I'm gonna, I didn't add on here, I should have put. We are working with School District 91 to host their back to school event again over here at Behind the Roofs, which is a great event. Last year, I believe it got rained out. Last year, yeah, it got rained out. So they have 2 dates right now that they're talking about doing it, so. So that's another collaboration.
Can I just ask, with the indoor facility space, now that nobody they've appointed a new superintendent, but since the current gentleman is leaving, is that that's gonna create kind of like a gap in trying to.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, uh, hope what our goal will be as soon as the new person, we would want to sit down and meet with them just to begin that collaboration and how we work together on different things. And Rochelle, her title is director of engagement. Yeah, she has really worked, we work together with her on a lot of different things. So we still do have that connection too.
And then basketball courts.
I'm trying to, and it is complicated, if you look at my emails right now. The village administrator and school superintendent and I are planning a lunch meeting to start the conversation, as a community collective. So, we're looking at doing that.
And then the HVAC maintenance contract. That sounds very exciting.
So we're waiting on, I think we never got a third quote, so that's just something that we are looking to update. We haven't had one, so we spent quite a good amount of money on making our HVAC repairs last year, so we're looking to get a contract in place for someone to come out monthly, change our filters, clean our coils, check for any imperfections on the machines, but it's a work in progress.
And which buildings would those all be? This building
And
and
this one, day camp, roofs, a filter room, the recreation garage and the HR building.
So this would be most, it's something that has been talked about for a while, and most park districts do have that. It's nice to have a contractor that understands your facility, especially when you have a building like this, that is, you never know when you flip the switches, how it's gonna work out. So, having that maintenance contract is.
One of our employees that helped us out this summer that works in Franklin Park works with a company that came out and gave us a quote, and so we have some very good recommendations.
then the trash removal contract.
We currently have a contract and we did a little bit of research, to get some information. And we feel at this point, we've done several of our contracts to re-up, to renew them or to start them. This is one, we're gonna finish out one more year with them and then, gather more information and more references. It's not as common to find different, but we have talked to, there's a company in town. And then there's,
Republic, Flood Brothers and SBC and the three that we've been in contact.
yeah, so it's a work in progress. But we haven't narrowed it down. We're still getting some references and stuff, so. It's just, again, these are all good practice to do. Every 3 years, we don't sign contracts longer than 3 years. So just a work in progress, just trying to do our due diligence.
Anything else?
That is, everything.
So the new business we have, and this is, in our future meetings, this is where we vote on future meetings that we'll be having. So the new business is the and this should actually say 26, 27. Again,
What did I get with my dates today? I apologize.
So new business, the 2026, 2027 board meeting schedule. The recommendation of the board approved the regular meeting schedule of the board, the park commissioners, the park district of Forest Park for the fiscal year commencing May 1, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2027. I'll make with those two little,
Sorry.
with that little change, motion. So second,
All right. Second, I'm petitioning.
and roll call, please.
Allison Warren. Aye. Lyons.
Aye.
McDermott.
Aye.
Susan. Gilliam.
Then you have new business, the Derby Gala, we talked about.
We talked about that.
So, and then anything else?
That's, no, there's something else.
The new thing that we're doing, the board member reports, so today you've got a little bit short and board, it's just the girls up here. So we'll start from right in the left, so,
Yeah.
Betty?
Yeah, so, again, with regret, I had to decline being able to approve the minutes. So for me, my reasons are, I just don't feel that, I'll start off with the easy fix. Manager Crumbie was not at the meeting. So we just need to remove his name.
Okay.
But then I really don't feel it was reflective of the conversation. Certainly when I speak to myself and the comments that I made, it's not reflective in, I mean, ultimately, I just keep coming back to the phrase that's been coming into my head. It's, you cannot be casual as the truth. We haven't even touched in this conversation today, the big concern the community has right now with regards to Youth Soccer Association for it. And the big thing that I raised in my comments last time around was the, we had a conversation in February about the possible increment of fees. And yes, Jackie, I know that this was something that you perhaps have been considering since 2022. But community members from the Youth Park Association got an email several days later with this very big increment. And it's my understanding, I've yet to see the email because I'm not a parent in the Youth Soccer League, that it referenced that it was a board vote. My recollection of the February meeting was that Commissioner Gillian actually said we would be voting on the issue in March. And so now what we have is just a discrepancy of, was this meant to be a board vote, or was it something that is a decision that is made as part of your operational duties? So that's, I think, part of the, like the discrepancy. The board minutes don't reflect that I had actually raised some of these things and that I'd actually commended. I mean, it's a beautiful evening, and yet again, we still have community members that are showing up to these board meetings. And so I want to thank you all for being there, because it's truly important. And I know that for a lot of you, some of the things that we've been talking about really, really, truly matter. I'm grateful that we are given consideration now and that we're going to act upon being able to publish visibly, what happens in our board meetings so that all community can see. It's not everybody can attend, obviously. But I do want our meeting minutes to be a little bit more reflective of everything that we've been discussing. And those are the things. The last thing that I wanted to comment on is I think some of us commissioners have been receiving emails from community members. And I take those all very close to heart. And while I will not be able to respond to you on behalf of the board, I can certainly respond to you as in my personal considered opinion. So for those of you who wrote, do expect to hear from me. It's not a position that I'm taking on behalf of the board. And I will be consulting with Jackie, of course, on some of these things, because candidly, the biggest thing that is missing for me, and Jackie knows this, we've talked about it, is we need to refresh our board policy manual so that I know what are some of the things that we can or cannot do as board commissioners, and that I can in turn tell you about them as well. I don't know the answer to some of the questions that are being asked. But it certainly, I take my responsibility very, as Jackie knows, I just spent a long time reading a manual on personnel policy, and I'll be darn sure to do the same with board policy manuals as well. It's important. So again, that was in the details, and I'm a data nerd, so that is why, with great regret, I just feel I have to continue to push back on the board. And I hope you understand that it's with respect and nothing else. So thank you for listening.
Here's your.
I do have a couple comments, but I just want to piggyback on what Betty said, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Your concern is it's not reflective of conversations. That is not the purpose of what these board meeting minutes are. I'm not gonna be able to explain it to you adequately, but I believe our attorney, if you can't, Andrew Payne can. And it just kind of makes me chuckle because having, not living at you, having sat through countless of village board meetings, this was always Marty Talayan's biggest, like, argument with, hey, you know, I said this and this isn't being captured, and it's just simply not the intent, it's to take down, so 20 years from now, when somebody says what happened in the April 16th, it's not gonna be Kathy said this and Betty said that, it's going to be, they approved, what did we approve? We approved the calendar. Yeah, that's the purpose.
So I think, and I appreciate you saying that, because as somebody who comes from the corporate space and almost 40 years of working in corporate, minutes in my world actually are really action items. Very, very brief summaries. What I find,
That's what these are.
and but they're somewhat arbitrary. Like sometimes they're descriptive on one end and not another. So we either, and this is my point, Kathy, like we have a board policy manual and we have procedures that state explicitly that these are all about it. And we leave it, we have a standard that we hold to.
Well, and not
And
only
that-
that, like you picked up something that I didn't pick up. When you see that, pick up the phone and give maybe a call.
100%.
Yes, it will correct them.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
But I think it's also well to have a conversation with everybody, you know, that makes it to the meeting and can now view the new YouTube channel.
Well, yeah, can I ask if, because it is, it's not intentionally leaving anything out. Honestly, it's sometimes hard to hear.
And then to actually keep up and
And so that it's not, and I hope that nobody ever thinks that it's anything intentionally done. It's either I can't hear the name or I didn't
So
get.
now we don't,
No.
now we have spelling, so now.
So, yeah.
We
But
have like.
but I hope that with us, you know, the minutes reflect the action items and the video, if people want to see, then that way it can be.
if we can set what the standard will be, that would be well, and maybe we just need to let you be the chair of the meeting and have somebody else be the board secretary. I mean, these are just ideas. We don't have to decide now, but Kathy, thank you very much for that clarification. I appreciate it.
Talk to Marty, serious. He still won't let it go. And then just the comment on the soccer, we all got the letters. Most of them were AI, I'll be honest with you. Again, just reiterating, I believe what we have discussed, and I'll be honest with you, in my mind, I thought, you know, we've addressed this, thought we had moved on. Apparently we have not. One of the letters was not so cool. It was a veiled threat. I don't appreciate that. I mean, this is a volunteer position. So I know it's a passionate topic, but I think we all need to be respectful of each other. It is my understanding, this has been an ongoing conversation with fees and everything being equitable for all the groups that use the facility, and there are many. This has been an ongoing conversation with the soccer board. So this should not have been a surprise. The fact that the soccer board may have not communicated it to its participants. We don't have force in that game. I just want to make that perfectly clear. And you know, we're gonna have a new field and it's gonna be great. They were out there doing their yearly maintenance, semi-yearly or semi-annual maintenance. So in essence, it's gonna be a brand new field when they start the game. So having said that, I just want to make a comment with the lifeguards, being able to supervise this pool, very, very appreciative, but it's coming at a cost.
Yes, we do have to pay direct costs.
Yeah,
We-
nothing's free.
Nothing is free. We have to pay, obviously, they have direct costs that they incur when we go in to use that facility. And we respect that and we obviously pay them, so.
And I just want to end with on a good note, I ran into some of the day campers who actually painted the tiles for, the display on Madison Street. I don't think they really understood what they were doing, but now that they've seen the finished product, it is really cool. It would be really great. I don't know if they auction those off, but if we could get it back so the kids could plant it in their own garden by day camp, I think that would be really cute. And there was a nice little write-up on our Izzo, who wears so many different hats, and I really don't know what it is, his creation, I think it kind of looks like a bird.
Do we know what it is?
What is it?
He said that was the point, is for you to interpret whatever you want.
He used materials he found around the park, so he refurbished, so, I'm just very, talk about collaboration that we've merged with the Art Alliance, right on Izzo's you know, field, and I think it just appeals to so many people on so many different levels. And again, it's just another opportunity to offer something to our residents, and just want to say thank you to staff. I know now we are officially entering the crazy time of the year, but it's exciting, the trees will blow, that's why my cleanup, I can't breathe, but it's all good. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Only thing I would say is, again, I enjoy being at a meeting where people are actually here. I don't like when I'm looking at empty chairs. So thank you for everyone who does come. And kind of gonna sound like a broken record. We have the foundation, we have money in the foundation. If you know of anybody that is having difficulty and says, I can't afford the pool pass, please, please, please let them know. We've got collaboration with the library. The library has them, as library cards don't cost anything. Pool pass at the library does not cost anything. Also, if there's anybody that's having difficulty, please let them know about our foundation. It's right online and it's pretty simple, you know, and they could get, any kind of help, because we want to make sure that the park is available to all people and everyone from our community, and look out for our community members. And then when our community members, if we could also, after Forest Park residents are considered, move on, and other residents that are around us, then great. But my focus always is Forest Park, FP. Because I really enjoy this park and I enjoy being part of this board and what we're doing here. I think we're doing some really great things here. And I look and talk to other members of other entities, both in Forest Park and outside Forest Park. And there's a lot of issues, and we, you know, always look out for the residents here and making sure that they're trying to, you know, get the services that they want. We heard that we want people to have more adult things where kids are taken care of. We're trying to do that with some adult things. So excited for this upcoming summer, and excited to see what this upcoming summer has. And please, we have the schedule, we'll be out there, and come to all of our meetings. We love having you here. So, and I do think it's Betty, the one thing I wanted to make sure I approved the minutes this time, because when I first became on this board, I had a resident come up to me and go, I don't see meeting minutes. And they weren't there for like a couple months. And I brought to Jackie's attention, and she right away is like, oh, you're right, they're not up there. Obviously, the meeting minutes from today can't get put up until they're approved at the next meeting. That's how it works. But there was like a couple months missing, so she made sure that we were on top of that, and they're on top of that now. I did notice that, and that's why I asked them when, I'm playing Tim today. But when Tim comes back next month, he'll be the one or running the meeting, and say to him, I think that's a good idea, because I don't like it either when it says resident, it doesn't have a name or anything. So I'm gonna, you know, ask him to have it be, every time somebody talks here, what is your name? Repeat it back. Where do you live? Repeat it back. So when we do go and type up these minutes, we do have names. So it is going to be a more solid record of that. So with that being said, we do have public comment. And again, repeat the name. Is there anybody who wants to make any comments at this time at the end of the meeting? So, all right, we'll start from my right to left, your left to right. Again. Your name, please, sir, even though I know it.
Mike Hill,
So Mike Hill, Hill,
correct,
and your address, please,
7541 Brown.
7541 Brown, Mike Hill. Okay, go ahead, sir.
I am not only a resident of Forest Park, but I am director for Forest Park Youth Soccer, part of the board that runs Forest Park Youth Soccer right now. I just wanted to comment on something that I'm basically getting confused on, because I've been running the league for quite a few years, a number of years. And back in 2022, we talked about a fee increase. Since that time of 2022 to January of 2026, we have not had conversations about a fee increase or a reduced field time, anything like that. So I apologize if I missed some communication, but as far as I know, and I've talked to a number of my board advisories that I work with, we have not had conversations about fee increases. So please, if you guys, I respect everything you guys do on the board. I respect what you guys have done for the park. Please let me know. I know you just said that there's been conversations, and please tell me that. Maybe I missed it. But as far as I understand, we have not had communication as far as our increases. Yes, we can talk, but from 2022 to now, or I should say January of 26, we did not have ongoing conversations. I am totally up for doing that with you guys and with the board of Forest Park Youth Soccer, but please understand, we have not had conversations, ongoing conversations. I have not closed the door, I have not said, no, we will not. So I am open to working. But we need to have those two things clarified, that we have not had that communication, ongoing communication.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Anyone I saw?
Jean Wire, 837 Anna Avenue.
The Jane Wire, Jean, Jean, sorry. See, this is why I have to repeat it.
Yeah, I said, do you know anybody who's had difficulties with the increased fees? Everybody. And 4 passes from the library is not going to cover it, nor are your so-called scholarships. We pay a lot of taxes. I just had my taxes done by the wonderful art people across the street from here. And they were appalled at what my taxes were for Forest Park, for a 700 square foot house. We're paying a lot for our park. And these increases are hitting people hard. I'm surrounded by families with little kids, and not just one that they have to pay for, but 3 and 4 kids. That adds up. I know because I had 5 kids here, and we're fortunate that it was very, very reasonable at that time to play t-ball here at the park, play soccer here, and to go to the pool. I haven't had a pool pass in years. It's, and I doubt if I will this year, but it's difficult for everybody. This is a blue collar area. This is not, somebody seems to think this is River Forest, where even River Forest pays for Maywood for their programs. Anybody from Maywood can get in free for River Forest. But here we are in blue collar Forest Park, and we're being hit with River Forest costs. And I would just like for someone to say that. So it's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wire. Anyone else?
Is it okay if I stay seated? My knee is really bothering me.
No, it's fine.
It's okay, all right. Lisa Hyatt,
Lisa Hyde, HYATT,
1002 Lathrop.
1002 Lathrop. Lisa, go ahead.
Few things. I went through the website, after you'd asked that question, Betty, about, the submitting comments and whatever. I went through every single page. The only forms that exist on the website are for inquiries to like rent the rooms, rent the pool, rent outdoor facilities, and subscribe for e-newsletters. There is no contact us page or anything on any page that allows people to easily submit comments. I went through every page, so I just want to follow up on that. In terms of like the meeting minutes, I just want to comment that I agree with Betty, and that like, well, just like the idea of like, I know it's hard to hear, and I know AI might be some people's nemesis, but there's a lot of technology out there these days that will record your meetings as long as you have permission from those in attendance to take your meeting minute notes for you. So that might help to give you like all of the things that will allow you to narrow that down. So just wanted to say that. I also wanted to comment on the pool pass thing and the foundation thing. So the application on the website, it's very involved. People have to submit, you're asking them for really personal information, W-2s, your budget, And I just want to share an example of my, so I have 3 children. My girls just started Girl Scout troop here in Forest Park a few months ago. And I really want them to experience some opportunities at the Girl Scout camps this summer, but they are atrociously expensive. My husband and I are both employed, nonprofit, education. We don't make millions of dollars, but we have jobs. The Girl Scouts allow you to apply for financial aid and just say why you are applying for financial aid. I said, this summer, not only do I have summer camp fees for my 2 oldest children, I have a daycare bill for a 1-year-old that I'm paying full time for, the rising increase of costs of basically everything. I'm in medical debt because of everything that's going on with this leg right here. Like, that should be enough for families to explain to you circumstances that, so they don't have to pick and choose. Their kids don't have to lose out on experiences because they, like, their parents have to choose X, Y, and Z over this, or their parents choose to not go into debt. So while I appreciate there are scholarships available, I think simplifying the application process and allowing families to share with you why at this moment in time you need that financial assistance is much more accessible and approachable for families than having to like fill out give you their monthly budget and give you their caseworker's number for their public aid and all of that stuff. So I think that's all I have to say. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Anyone, I thought there's no one more. Well, please go first. Your name?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everybody, my name is Mary Kate Keel, K-U-H-L.
So Mary Kate Keel. And where do you live, Mary Kate?
I live at 827 Lathrop.
827 Lathrop. Thank you.
So my family and I have lived in Forest Park for about 15 years. And we have 2 young children. We participate in day camp, we buy pool passes, and we also play soccer. And these are programs that we very much enjoy being part of. We are fortunate enough to be able to afford the tuition for each, and I recognize that that is a very, very fortunate position to be in. So my questions today are more about the how, because I understand this is my first meeting. I know it's not y'all's first meeting, but it's mine. And so I have a lot of questions about the how things are done. Today and in days prior, I spent a little time on the website. I spent a little time on Oak Park District's website. I spent a little time on Park Ridge's website. I spent a little time on River Forest website. And on all of those, I was able to find policies surrounding how decisions are made with regards to pricing, with regards to vendor selection. I have a lot of questions on that. I actually run procurement for a corporation, so unfortunately, that's just kind of my wheelhouse. And I understand how hard it can be to issue an RFI, RFP, RFX, whatever it is. And I would just like to know what the policy is for the park district on making those decisions and moving forward with contracting, particularly for larger contracts, which I know you all are managing a lot of. I also would really like to know, similar to pretty much everyone here, how are these price increases determined and who is making those decisions specifically in writing, saying, yes, move forward with this. And as an aside on this soccer note specifically, I'll save my full pass issues for next time. Specifically with regards to soccer, if this has been an issue since 2022, and everyone here is as dedicated to this community as you state you are, why on earth wasn't an incremental increase even proposed to that board? We could be sitting at $12 right now, and the community would barely notice over the last 4 years. Some would, some wouldn't. Either way, it becomes more manageable when we eat an elephant a bite at a time. Instead, you have proposed something that is coming as a shock to those of us who want to participate in the only recreational program league that is available to our kids. Help us understand how these decisions are made so that we can all better understand, again, how our tax dollars and our discretionary dollars are being spent and who they are going to.
Thank you, Ms. Keel. Gentleman back, your name, sir?
837 Hannah Avenue.
What's your last name again?
Dahlman.
How do you spell it?
Dallmann.
Dallmann?
Correct.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead, Bill.
Hold on. The new maintenance building, I had a question about when or where we are about painting that building, because you guys know it's pretty hideous eyesore. To not just, if we don't have a plan to paint it within a month, maybe get that paint off at least, because you're gonna have to do that anyways. And it just be just much better facade. I'm sure you guys that in that building will like it too. And the other thing is about, are we gonna be able to get any input from the community on what that mural could be or should be in Forest Park? So who's choosing it? Is it the artist? Is it you guys? Would like some clarity on it. Other than that, the field right there is gonna have to go through some kind of drainage issue. As you guys know, there's a drainage issue, the grass didn't take properly. So I'd like to hear what your ideas of what's gonna happen with that field, because it's pretty unusable, honestly. It's a lot of little bumps into ankle twister heaven. And the water is standing for a while afterwards. And then the other question is, since the maintenance building is now over there, what about the old maintenance building that's near where that camp building and the skate park? Because what I'm hearing is there's a big issue with the camp, that they don't have space. They need space and it doesn't fit in here or there. So is that building gonna go to use for them, or do they use any of these buildings? But it sounds like those campers, they pay a lot for the summer camp. I didn't know that. They should get some love too, or at least, some ideas to help them out. So, yeah, please tell us what you guys are doing with the old building and, inform us about that mural. So if you guys want to even put on your website to any ideas for it, bring in the kids and parents. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Okay, one more.
Okay. Hannah Dolman, Dallmann, 834 Beloit.
Hannah Dahlman, 834 Beloit.
That's right.
Oh, perfect.
So I guess I want to thank you, Mary Kate, for saying those things. I definitely echo a lot of that. We need policies, and that's where those letters came from. Those were questions about matter of fact policy that we just don't understand, and I don't think the board does, because you don't have them, and it's really wreaking havoc in so many ways, big and small. Those are not AI generated, Kathleen. They
were all the same.
Well, that's not AI. It's a template, and that's what advocacy is about. If you've ever contacted your legislator, that's how it works. And they were actually personalized as far as I know I personalized the one that I was given, and I did expect a response. I haven't gotten it. I just want to say, I prepared something here because I really want you to hear me on this. In these meetings, I hear how your doors are open, always open, and that residents can request meetings at any time. But personal availability is not the same thing as public openness. For a public body, a true open door policy means openness to the public, not just private conversations. So in the spirit of the Illinois Open Meetings Act, policy discussions, rational decisions are expected to occur in the public forum, on the record, and in a way that allows all residents equal access to the same information. And not everyone has the time or even the comfort level to have a meeting with you or other commissioners. So when policy questions are consistently routed to these one-on-one meetings with commissioners or via the executive director, that just creates a real power imbalance, I feel. It also allows concerns to be contained and the narrative managed rather than openly discussed and tested in a public forum. So real openness doesn't happen behind closed doors. It means answering policy questions in writing or in public meetings so everyone in the community can hear the same answers and have confidence in how decisions are made. So I really urge you to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dahlman. Anyone else?
Just, excuse me, same person. Jean Donovan, at Hannah Avenue, 8 through 7, that some of the busiest people in the community meet at this time. I know there are people who are planning to be here tonight who has a soccer game. I know that Amanda, who had so much to say and has done so much research, is running a Boy Scout troop and had to leave. I don't know if there's a better time that you meet or what we can do, but I know this has been a problem with people wanting to be here, wanting to get your input, and they've been unable to do it.
We do, and we,
Just up there.
we did vote on the schedule for the upcoming year. So everybody has our meetings. So our meetings are not changing. Ours are set. We voted on it. So,
That's good.
I mean, if you do during the weekday, Monday through Friday, there's only so many days and that, so it, you know,
I mean, people don't choose when their kids have a soccer game,
exactly.
you know,
So,
or when the Boy Scouts say, this is the time you can have the meeting. So,
but if anybody asks, we voted on it and this will be available and they'll put it on the website. So. it'll be on
that
the
will
website.
be on the website.
And they'll be on the website, all of our future meetings for the upcoming year. So. And that,
May I ask one?
yes,
Sorry.
Ms. Keel, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
definitely. To echo that point, how does received correspondence that makes it into the minutes get selected? My question on that being, because if somebody can't make it, would they be able to enter an email or a question or something during that correspondence point? So to ensure that their voice is heard, even if they can't make it?
I'm hoping I said this at the beginning of the meeting, the first public comment last meeting that we had, that people said, I can't make it, this is my public comment, it was right into the record. So when I hope I said it, we started this meeting, I said there was no emails or nobody sent anything saying, I can't be here, this is my public comment. So that's how that would
So
happen.
it needs to state.
You'd have to say that, you know, I can't be there, like this is my public comment. Obviously, if there's, well, no, that just like, that's how it goes. I'm just thinking of like people that put like a lot of personal information, something like that, but no, I don't think we've ever had that, but if people.
I only read it if it says, please enter, because I wouldn't want to share.
Yeah, it just says, please enter.
So
the record,
someone should
yeah.
write, please enter. Okay. I would recommend that be put on the website.
Thank you. All right, with that being said, a motion to adjourn. Someone? Any second?
Yes, I mean.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.